Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, December the 14th. Ken Midkiff is with us. You know, Ken has been with the Sierra Club for many years.
Yeah.
Are you still? You're still with the Sierra Club?
I am. Yeah. I'm on the executive committee of the local Sierra Club.
Okay. And you wrote columns for many years. Are you still writing?
Yes. I no longer write for the Missourian, but I write for the Joplin Globe.
Okay. All right. So you can go online and catch any of Ken's columns. I like your columns. Yeah. Sometimes I call you a grumpy guy, but
I am a grumpy old man.
It's okay, Ken. As we get older, I'm not that far. You're 81 years old.
I am.
I'm 77, so I'm not that far behind you. And I think when you get that age, you have a right to be grumpy sometimes.
Right. Sometimes, yes.
All right. So today you wanted to talk about guns, and this is. Oh my! It's such a controversial topic, and it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be a political topic either. It should simply be a common sense topic.
Yeah, I was thinking about my childhood days and my high school days many years ago. Everybody that I knew was a hunter. I had shotguns and 22 rifles.
Right, exactly. That's the way I grew up in our house. My father, he had a double barrel shotgun, and he had a rifle, and he would go hunting.
Yep.
But we were taught to respect those weapons or guns.
Right.
They were not toys. They were kept locked up. They were never loaded. And the ammunition was not kept in the same room. In fact, I don't even know where my dad kept his bullets because they weren't kept close to the gun.
Right.
That's all common sense stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the same childhood experience I had. We had guns in the house, but they were not available to children. They were not locked up because we had no place to lock them up. They would hide them. So I suspect to this day that my dad hid his guns under the bed.
But you don't know.
But I don't know.
But you wanted to talk about an experience that you had.
Well, not really. An experience I had was I was in the Army again many years ago. And I was, because of my experiences with guns and weapons, I was a fairly good shot. And I got the highest medal on the Army shooting range. But one thing the Army taught me how to do was that weapons are for killing people. And when I got it back home, I thought, I really don't want to have these weapons for killing people. So I sold all my weapons, and to this day, 60 years later, I don't have any weapons. But I am not at all calling for weapons that people use for hunting, like shotguns and rifles, to be eliminated.
Yeah,
but
I like the fact that you use the word weapons because that's what you're taught in the military.
Oh, yeah.
They're not guns, they're weapons.
Right.
I remember that was the first thing that when I went into basic training, and you talk about what we have, the M16, I think it was the M16, and you said gun. They're not guns, they're your weapons.
Right. They made it, I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, there was a little poem, but I don't think we can use it on the air.
No, this is my weapon, this is my gun.
Right, just stop it right there.
Okay.
Because I remember that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the important thing is that a lot of people are talking about just common sense with these guns, not taking them away from everybody.
Right.
Locking them up, keeping them safe, and then there are certain types that perhaps shouldn't be out in public at all.
Right. The most recent killings, and there have been so many, I've kind of lost track. It's like one a week, actually more than one a week. I think there have been 680 8 mass killings so far this year.
You know what I
mass
read?
killings,
Yes.
four people or more dead.
You know what I read in the paper just last week? You know how the United States government puts out travel advisories for certain countries where it's not safe to travel?
Right.
I read that some countries, European countries and Asian countries, are now warning their citizens about some unsafe conditions in the United States because of gun violence.
Right.
Now, is this the image that we want to have?
The United States is by far the number one nation in the entire world with gun violence.
Right.
With the
so
people
some
killed.
countries are putting out warnings and travel advisories, I guess is the word. Travel advisories about coming to the United States because of the violence with guns.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, there have been so many killings lately. Well, the one in where's it, Virginia, was done with a pistol, and outlawing AR-15s, which has been done, by the way, by the federal government, and the ban was lifted. But assault weapons ban was, AR-15s or lookalikes. What's the other one? I can't remember.
I can't remember that either. Right.
But anyhow, banning AR-15s would not end gun violence. There are gun violence because the 4 girls or 4 persons in Idaho were stabbed. Well, the banning AR-15s wouldn't have any effect on that at all. And the person in, I think, Virginia, he used a pistol.
He used a pistol.
Yeah.
But again, it's common sense. It's common sense knowledge with the weapon. And then perhaps even training. You have to have a license to drive a car.
Right.
I saw an article in the paper about everything that you have to go through to have a car, but none of it to own a gun.
Right.
So again, these are things that people can talk about, people can think about in a non-emotional way. Just sit down and have a conversation about it.
Well, the Amendment 2 of the U.S. Constitution talks about a well-regulated militia, and it doesn't specify the type of weapon that you would have. But it talks about weapons, and it talks about a well-regulated militia. Well, the person who killed all those kids in Uvalde, Texas, was not a member of any militia. He just entered the school and started shooting, and he had an AR-15 style weapon. Yeah. In Texas.
This is a discussion that can just go on and on and on. Moms Demand Action are out there talking about this all of the time. You can have as we said, a non-emotional discussion about this just with common sense. And nobody's trying to take everybody's guns away.
No.
Okay?
No.
But, Ken, we're out of time today. I just hope by you coming here and us talking, we have started a conversation among friends.
I hope so.
Among friends, that's it. We shouldn't be against each other just because we disagree on certain topics. All right? Ken, thank you so much for coming by.
You're welcome.
All right. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.